I could have watched that for way longer, but probably good that it wasn't.
We are here and we are reviewing the worst horror movie that you may ever see.
No, Bob, don't do this.
So I got to give the backstory to this movie. Okay. So, and I told I worked with a guy. This was around 2000, 2001, and he got let go. I don't remember why, but instead of getting, he didn't go right into getting a new job. He decided that he was going to make his movie, which I totally applaud. Go make your thing. Mm-hmm. And I am all for making bad stuff on the road to making good things. It doesn't appear the good things ever came. He stopped with this. And this movie is called Serial Killer Bob. So he got local actors. He got a camera. He shot it. And I have been having watch parties for this movie for 15 years. Because I am spreading the gospel of Serial Killer Bob.
Have you heard the good news?
Have you heard about our movie savior, Serial Killer Bob? All right, so I introduced Siege to this movie. Siege, what did you think of Serial Killer Bob? And I guess we should discuss the premise first. So the premise is a guy comes home, catches, well, he kind of knew, but he catches his wife with another man.
How does it go? He came home and promptly went insane.
Yes, he came home at 4:10 p.m. Bob came home ... and promptly went insane. Right on time.
Promptly.
And that's the backstory you get.
That's my favorite thing.
You get no backstory, no motivation except that his wife was cheating on him, and he kills them. Yeah.
There wasn't really even signs that they had done anything.
No. So, yeah, he comes home and you kind of see things through the window. Now, you don't see anything through the window. What you see is a guy buttoning his pants, not pulling them up. He's just kind of doing this.
He's kind of like just
acting.
Messing with them. Yeah. No idea what he's doing.
Yeah. So, now the premise for this movie is that there are, I think we counted 4 points of view, and there's the I guess the third person just audience view like a normal movie. But within that movie, sometimes,
which I didn't expect.
Right, because it starts out the point of view of camera. We'll call camera 1, which is Bob's Super 8, High 8 not VHS, but camera, home movie camera.
Yeah, which he has for some reason. I don't know why.
So, yeah, that's one. We'll get to that. The second one is the video camera of a Girl Scout in the Girl Scout troop who has gone, unfortunately, camping in the park where serial killer Bob is committing his crime.
You're really weird. Did you know that?
Which there's only 4 Girl Scouts, right?
I believe we see 4, maybe 5.
The leader, which like I don't recall ever happening.
Yeah. So that's 2.
In real life.
The third one is that the local sheriff recruits a hodgepodge of people to come join his posse.
Ever you call them out of these areas, I want you to call these people here, and those are their names.
And one of those, or two of those, are two brothers who are stoner guys, and one of them is got a camera because he's going to sell the footage and make some money. So that's camera 3. So there's camera, there's the person, the audience cam, there's Bob's cam, there's the Girl Scout cam, and there is the stoner cam.
Oh, and sometimes the news cam.
I don't think they showed that as a point of view, but he has a camera too. So we'll call that 4.5.
Did they not when she was like swearing at him in the car?
That who the does he think he is?
I don't know who the hell he thinks he is to treat you like that.
Oh, don't even try to kiss my head.
I'd say or do anything to shut you up for 5 seconds.
Look, I'm pulling into the back parking lot. Maybe then you can shoot some decent video for once.
Whatever you want. But when this is all over, I'm going to nominate myself for the of the Year award.
That's very funny, coming from a limp, obese alcoholic like yourself. Jerk.
Okay, we're gonna get there because this is we're gonna need like a big, again, most of these movies require a board with the red yarn and pins. So
there's too much to say.
If I was making a movie, I would say, all right, normal camera is audience view.
By the way, my name is Bob. And now, I'm a serial killer.
But when it cuts to serial killer Bob's camera, at least make it, I don't know, black and white.
By the way, my name is Bob. And now, I'm a serial killer.
Or make it grainy.
Bob.
Or have the little recording thing, the little,
or interesting.
Something. And then every camera would have a different visual look, so you'd be able to tell you're cutting back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do any of that. Everything is going to look exactly the same. So we start out with Bob's cam, and it starts out him narrating over the top or talking into the camera, but you don't really realize at first it's a camera. So all that setup is the on-ramp to this movie. So Siege got on the on-ramp and she merged into the movie. What did you think of Serial Killer Bob?
I honestly wished it had been longer. I could have watched that for way longer, but it's probably good that it wasn't. First of all, I did not understand why everyone had a camera, but it was a really good artistic choice. I felt it was very creative. I feel like he honestly had no idea or any vision of what he was doing at all. My favorite parts were the special effects, though.
Oh, yes. Okay. So if you have a budget for special effects, I guess you could either use them by getting ketchup if you need blood, or syrup, like color, maybe some. Don't they use? I guess they maybe use syrup with food coloring or something, right?
Yeah.
Or you could just take Photoshop and do a still frame of a big blob over you superimpose and post over the body that kind of hovers.
Yeah, it hovers. So when anybody reaches over to the body, the blood is just still over their hand. I think that's a really good choice.
It is. It's art.
It's creative.
It's an artistic choice. So, my favorite thing about this is that apparently the director has no idea what a serial killer is, because Bob killed his wife and lover, his wife's lover, not his lover, drove them out to a public park, killed them both, and then in his point of view camera says,
by the way, my name is Bob. And now, I'm a serial killer.
He had plans for wanting to be a serial killer. He's like a hipster serial killer. He's like, I did it. I'm a serial killer now.
Except it's just double homicide.
Yeah. Not
serial killer. There's no I'm not up on my legal definitions of serial killer, but it seems like there's an MO, like the serial killer that it's all redheaded people, or it's all, and they're all, something like that.
Or just continuously killing for not really a huge reason.
This is a murder spree. This should be Bob's murder spree.
Yeah.
That's what,
because he was out for blood after that. Like, he wanted to kill people after
just
that.
People in general.
Yeah, he was just like, he woke up in the morning and he's like, man, I cannot wait for fresh blood. He was like,
I've never killed before, but I bet it's going to be great. I'm going to want to do it a lot.
He's like, I love this.
So the setting for this, like a lot of bad movies, if you watch a lot of B movies, one of the budgetary shortcuts is shoot in the woods. Because it's a free. So they went to a part. I also have to point out again, this is local. I know where this was shot. And there's a park here, and it's mostly done on the trails at this park. So we need to go through the cast, okay, or through the characters, because there's a lot of characters. It's very ambitious to have this big of a cast for this movie.
Yeah,
right,
yeah, that's true, because we have so many different perspectives.
We've got Bob. We've got Sheriff.
Turn your vehicle around now.
Yes.
Do you remember, and would you like to share with everyone why there are only 2 police officers on this case? Do you remember the reason?
Oh my gosh. It was that, wasn't there like a conference type thing?
I'm the only law enforcement officer likely to be on the crime scene anytime soon.
So where the hell have all the cops gone?
The annual sheriff's shootout in Orlando, Florida, where every law enforcement officer from the entire East Coast gathered to win their share of prizes equaling almost $1 million.
In Florida.
It was the annual sheriff shootout.
Yes.
In Orlando, Florida.
So everybody went to the shootout and left those 2 there. They
for
were
the entire East Coast.
Yeah. Only law enforcement there was those 2. Completely competent sheriff and his deputy.
Right. So the deputy, we would like to point out, got killed. So he's not there for very long. I've seen this movie so many times. It's always fun when you notice something different in something so bad. I realized watching this, they only had 1 sheriff shirt. And I can't believe I've never noticed this before, but I'll show some clips of this. The sheriff he's a big guy. I mean, he's got a little bit of a gut. He enjoys a fine brew.
Yeah.
Or 5. And it fits him. And I realized that when it cut to the scene where the deputy got killed, it is his police sheriff shirt is so baggy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. I think that might be the sheriff's shirt. And then when they cut to the sheriff going to find the deputy's body, suddenly he's wearing a normal like polo. And I was, oh my gosh, they had the budget.
Change really quick.
They had the budget for one tan button-down shirt. They couldn't just buy it.
Which makes me wonder if like somebody's dad had it or something.
It was an actual shirt. Yeah. I'm wondering if it was maybe it was the actual actor that played the sheriff. Maybe it was his shirt. And the director's like, oh, I can save $15 by not buy a new tan shirt. I'm just put it on Frank. Frank, put on this oversized shirt. So so I noticed that. So the deputy kind of comes and goes. We got the sheriff who recruits a park ranger.
My name's Jason. I'm a park ranger.
That much is obvious.
The park ranger's assistant, who's only been working for him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and she's very involved.
Listen, I know I promised I wouldn't slow us down, but I need to make a rest stop.
Yeah, she just kind of tags along.
When no one asked her to at all.
No one asked her to. She's just like a little puppy. Just follow. Well, we're going over here now. Let's go over here.
She is new. She's a new puppy.
She doesn't know. She probably should not go on the investigation. She's trying to be a good employee. She wants to be the park ranger one day, maybe.
And doesn't help at all.
She does get momentarily held hostage.
Look, I'm gonna assume that you're Bob.
By Bob.
Yes.
When she goes to pee.
Did not help.
Right. Then there is the 2 brothers. two stoner brothers. So that's a posse of 5 people.
All right, we're almost there now, so everybody be ready.
I think Bob headed back in this direction.
He's probably watching us now.
Nah, no do any of you know what's gonna happen.
Yes. And the Stoner brothers are growing pot in the park.
In the park. And they know the park better than the park ranger.
Yeah.
That's why they recruited them.
Yes. So
the
why
park
bring
ranger's
the
bad.
park ranger then, you know?
Because it's in his... Now we're getting into internal movie logic. Or just logic. If you're going to look for just logic...
I guess there's none, and we probably just shouldn't talk about that portion.
I mean, if you want to pick this movie apart, I mean, we could be here. I'm pretty sure someone could write their film school thesis on this movie.
Oh, that would be amazing, and I would love to read that. That'd be amazing.
So that's okay. Got Bob over here. You've got the posse here, but that's not all, because you've got a news reporter and her cameraman.
What the are we supposed to do now?
That also show up.
Yeah, why did they show up? Were they reported that Bob was in the...
They were listening to the police scanner, I think.
Right. Okay.
Who is the most likable character in this movie?
Oh my goodness.
And there doesn't have to be an answer.
Probably the sheriff, I guess.
Nobody's likable.
Nobody's likable. I feel like I had a likable one-ish. Well, the park ranger doesn't talk that much. So he's probably the most likable. And he's always like,
true.
Everybody stop fighting, okay? And that's all he ever has to say. And he never has a solution to anything either. He's always like, somebody make a decision and let's do it. And like, he never makes a decision. He just is always telling people to make decisions.
He's a catalyst.
So I guess he's the most neutral character.
I know he probably is the least vile human being.
Yeah.
Everybody else is, I forgot a group. I'm sorry. The whole reason they're there and the sense of urgency. And I will give the director, screenwriter, editor, producer, James is his name. I'll give James props. He at least had when writing the script, the maybe subconscious, he's seen a movie before. You got to have some sense of urgency. So he put some Girl Scouts. There's a group of Girl Scouts at the park. And there's one weird one named Barb. And she's got a camera. It's the Barb cam.
Yeah.
And he kind of establishes that she has this sort of sixth sense connection with Bob. Like she knows something's there, something's going on.
She's like ready to be a serial killer, just like Bob.
She is. They have a connection somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, we've got all those groups. We've got a huge ensemble cast. We've got enough people to play Macbeth in this movie about a serial killer named Bob. So yeah, the park ranger is probably the most likable. And I'm wondering, it seems like every movie, let's say like when we talked about Sleepaway Camp, there was always that guy that came in and said, everybody stop fighting, but didn't really do anything.
Yeah, the guy in the crop top.
Yeah, the ranger is crop top guy, except it's khaki shorts and a polo tucked in.
Yeah.
And my favorite line is when one of my many favorite lines is when the stoner guys they go to their house and there's they're pulling guns on each other because it's the sheriff versus those, and the park ranger goes, "Wait, I'm just a park ranger," and the guy goes,
"That much is obvious."
Yes.
That's the level.
That was the wardrobe to be a park ranger.
It should have been, if this was like a movie like Airplane or something, he would have like a shirt that said Park Ranger or something stupid like that. But it's just like, how much is obvious? And it's like, why?
There's like no defining, there's no badge or anything. He doesn't have like a tag, nothing. And he's like, that much is obvious.
The other favorite line is when they find when the cop goes to tell the park ranger that I just found 2 dead bodies by the back entrance of your park.
But I just discovered 2 bodies near the back entrance to the park.
How were they killed?
They were murdered.
Death by murder. And the park ranger goes, that sounds horrible.
That sounds horrible. My favorite part, though, one of them, is when they're watching, because serial killer Bob leaves these tapes, right?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
For the evidence.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, the clues. Because he's like the new Zodiac.
Yeah.
But with recorded tapes. It's like he wants to get caught, you know? Don't they all?
Yeah.
So he's just trying his best to be the next cool serial killer. So he leaves these tapes in the dead people's hands. Those little, what do you call those?
I would like to point out it's a high 8.
Yeah.
So, but the funny thing is, it's like if you're going to leave those clues, like you leave it in their hand, it's like, great, we got to go find a high 8 camera to play this.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a VHS tape. You could just plug it in. It's like,
yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So like, why? Like it just could have been so much easier, but that must have been the camera they had at the time.
It was, yeah.
Oh, what I do love to, okay, wait, I'm getting carried away. So when they are watching the tape and they shut the TV off, like it's not even that the TV's actually in the room.
It's superimposed.
Yeah. So they couldn't have actually gotten a small TV.
Yeah. That leads up to, like, there are so many little sequences that are they're baffling. Like, why wouldn't you just get ketchup instead of CGI blood?
And then sometimes it is.
It's only once. There's one scene at the end where there is some fake blood. But it's almost like we blew the blood budget. I can't get any ketchup or anything.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it on the computer. On that scene where they superimpose the TV, when they shut it off, you see a TV, the whole TV. You see the TV go off. It cuts to the front. You know, when you cut the old TVs off, the picture would go.
Yeah.
For a split second, in that reflection, you see James on his couch filming that TV.
He's like,
yeah, it's like there's just a dude on the couch.
Got it. He's like nailed that scene.
He's like, let me check that off my production list.
I like that it seems like there wasn't more than one take for any scene.
No, there probably was not.
He thought he nailed it for each and every one.
They're all in line walking somewhere, and it's like everybody's standing still, and it's like when it cuts that scene, everybody stop and go. And then they start walking. And it does that scene, like doing it once is like a flub, but every time it cuts to them, they start the film like a second and a half too early.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
It's like, and go. And it's not even like, it's just like they're just casually sitting there. It's like, and action. And then they start. You get the whole wind up, start, go. It's like the train got to pull out of the station. We'll talk about the production quality. You're in good hands when you have a close up of one of the very first things you see is Bob's point of view, and he reaches for a doorknob to go into his house, and then immediately on that doorknob, close up, it goes from one doorknob to a different door with a deadbolt.
Yeah.
And it's not even trying to be hidden. It's like, well, I can't go in this house. I'm going to just cut to the house I can go into.
Yeah, it's like not even the same color either. It's like one's silver and then one's gold.
Yeah. It's like a faded, one's all faded and old. The other one's like brand new gold.
Yeah.
Brass doorknobs. Like, whoa. And there's a lock. There wasn't a lock before, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then he goes in and opens the drawer, and it's like, oh, this is the knife drawer.
Yeah, the one knife.
There's one butcher knife in that drawer.
What I do love about that drawer, though, is that it's like the junk drawer, but everything's pushed to the back.
Yeah.
There's like junk in the back of the drawer, and then there's a knife in the front. So he's like, nobody's gonna notice the junk in the back.
Yeah. So that's the premise for this movie is just that they're just hunting this person, and everybody is the most foul-mouthed, vile human being you have ever met. Especially everybody hates each other.
You know something, Sheriff? Oh, great. Now I gotta hear from the damn park ranger.
They all don't want to be there with each other.
Which, they do that in the movie where they're like, why are you even here? It's like, you begged me to come with you.
Yeah, the sheriff put this group together and then complains he doesn't want to be with any of them.
Well, I don't want to be with any of you.
Yeah, he's like, I hate everybody in this group. Let's just get this done.
And it's a lot of a lot of the profanity, especially written for the news reporter, is so over the top. It doesn't even.
Nobody talks like this.
Is that okay? I mean, you sure can't shoot any decent tape at night, unless you plan on bending over and shooting night farts into the camera. Face.
Why don't you go first?
I want to say it feels like James watched a bunch of Kevin Smith movies or something and tried to replicate a lot of bad language, but doesn't understand how to do it.
You couldn't hold your for longer than 5 seconds without reaching for a phone and ordering a pizza.
And so it's just like you just listen to these people talking and you're like, ugh. Stop.
I know, it's so
grimy.
Uncomfy. Like, it's not delivered. Like, it seems like nobody has ever said these words before.
Right.
Like, they can't even deliver them as if they have said this before. And she is the worst. Like, I've never in my life heard someone say, it's like she's just she's like that edgy high schooler that's like trying to swear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, I'm just trying to get in as much as I can. And like, you can't even string that sentence together. There's not.
Well, some of the insults don't even make any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're like, she's like, blah,
no
blah, blah. And you're
reason for
like,
you to say that.
Like, I don't know what that means. It has a lot of cussing in it, but I don't know what it means.
She said a lot of swears.
It's like, ooh, this movie's on R rating.
Oh my gosh, she's so edgy.
So, there's so many things. Like, I feel like we've just given you the entire plot in an entire movie, and yet there's so much more details to go into, because the entire movie is the setup. They walk around the woods for a long time, and spoilers, at the end, they shoot him.
Good shooting, guys!
You don't see any blood or anything.
Yes, I love the shooting scene because oh my gosh, what did he say? We're each gonna shoot you five or six times each.
We were all gonna shoot you at least 5 or 6 times each.
It's like there's a little pause. He goes, "Give it up, Bob. We're going to shoot you 5 or 6 times each." It's like, how many bullets is that? 5 times 5 is 25.
And they all have guns except probably the assistant.
Yeah, she doesn't get a gun. There. Yeah. And so when they shoot him and light him up, there's no blood or anything. He goes, "Oh, yeah, good shooting, guys."
No holes. Yeah, and he does that like. You're going, wait, did he actually? I thought he dodged it all. I thought it was sarcasm. He's like, oh, good shooting, guys.
I think this was, I'm going to add the blood in post.
He was like, man, I forgot that. Never mind.
You ran out of, I just got to get this movie out. So how many Madges would you give this?
Okay, so a Madge score, are we doing it like
this would be Madge's, no. This is Madge's problematic. Our mascot Madge has to rate this as in 1 to 5 Madges for problematicness.
Okay. According to the conversation that the two potheads had in the forest, I feel that Madge would probably give this 6 Madges.
Yeah, 6 Madges.
But serial killer Bob realized the specialness of Barb, which is a female.
Strong female character.
Yeah, a young female character. I feel like she would probably give it 3 Nadges.
Where can you see this movie? Well, I don't know. But you can watch the trailer on YouTube. I will put a link to that in the description.
We're gonna send it to Sundance.
we're gonna send it to Sundance, and perhaps in the Discord we will have a watch party.